my loves, welcome to Tarot and Ink. I've been wanting to do this reading for a while now, so we're going to be looking at your love life relationships, but categorized down into your horoscope. So we'll be looking at things like, what's going on in love, what's coming in, what's leaving, all that kind of stuff. I am an intuitive reader, so I'm just going to tune in with the energy of whatever horoscope you have and then pull through. So it may be a confirmation because I have, loads of slips in here with like languages and places and occupation and like descriptions, all sorts are in here. You can see. So I'll be pulling that. I'll be pulling names or letters out of here, and hopefully we'll be able to make some names. You can ignore this. This is my cup of tea because I'm going to lose my voice at some point. And and I've also got a yes or no little spinny spin coin as well. So you can ask a question at the end of it, and I should hopefully get a good spin out of this. But yeah, I use the Thoth Tarot deck, which is called the Mirror to the Soul. It is known within the tarot community as being particularly accurate. we'll go with that. Brutal is another word. It is very like being punched in the face with tarot. With that, and then I have a much nicer and much gentler, the kind of love fairy oracle as well. I say gentler. I find some of these a bit harsh, really. But that's what we're going to do in this reading. So this is obviously the introduction. Please go to whichever horoscope works for you. I would just, as a basis, always go with your rising sign because it is the most accurate to what you are. So as an example, I am a Taurus because I'm born in May. I'm a very stereotypical Taurus in every sense of the word, but my rising is Gemini. So, and the rising is, what's ruled predominantly. For me, it would be Gemini and Mercury. So it's thinking and communication and being analytical and seeing things that others don't and stuff like that. That's me in a nutshell, more so than like Taurus. And obviously you have your moon. If you don't know your top 3 horoscopes, go through, there's loads of like websites that do like a free chart thing with it. I use Chani. So there's the Chani app, and Chani in general is just absolutely incredible. And this is not a plug, I don't know her, I'm just saying what I use. But yeah, the Chani app is the best thing I've ever found. And I've been doing this a long time. So I've been doing this. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Yeah, I've been reading tarot, and I've been doing this for almost 30 years. I've been doing tarot professionally for almost 20. And that's on the phones, in person, with family and friends, at events, you name it. So even though I'm quite new to YouTube, I'm not new to this. And love readings are my specialty, along with transitions as well. That's the other thing I'm good. But thank you for listening to the introduction. Please go through and find your horoscopes. And yeah, I really recommend listening, finding out what your rising sign is and listening to that one, because that will tend to be more accurate. Thank you. Oh, and please like and subscribe. It really helps me out as a new YouTuber, so I can keep making these. And everything is for entertainment purposes only. Have fun with it. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. We're channeling in the collective as well. Sorry, that's because it's like Aries season. I'm wanting to be like, let's get into this. But that's what I'm going to do now. So yeah, thank you. Please find your horoscope in the timestamps. Hello. I appreciate this is a bit random. I am using a filter so that I can remain anonymous. But you may have noticed that in the introduction I said there will be timestamps for your sign. There are no timestamps. I have uploaded every single sign separately. So there are 12.
I can't count. There are 12 videos, each with different signs. So Aries, you have your own. Taurus, you have your own. Yada, 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 yada. With anything else, I promise you I am a very serious tarot reader. I know what I'm doing. It's all good. But yeah, I didn't anticipate how big one massive video would be. And my phone cried. So it is what it is. But yeah, on to your reading. Please enjoy. Thank you so much.
Hello, my lovely Sagittarius. Thank you so much for joining. We're going to do a bit of an intuitive read with this. My moon sign is in Sagittarius, so, you know, I'm slightly biased. I say that about, you know, a few things. I'm always very at peace with my bias. But yeah, as a sign, I feel like Aries season is, like a few of the other signs, is kind of kicking your butt a little bit. You're being a little bit more brash in terms of kind of jumping a bit more than you need to. I'm getting this image of like an Aquarius sign shooting an arrow, and you know it's being shot too early. Anything else, and I feel like I want to tell you, just take a minute, you know, take a breather. Than anything else, because you know you're very open-minded, you're adventurous, you're very enthusiastic on kind of everything. You know, you're one of the signs that if there's a rabbit hole, you're going to be diving into it, kind of thing. You're kind of hungry for knowledge in a lot of ways, and when you go for something, you shoot straight. You kind of really go for it. But yeah, we're gonna give you intuitive read. Again, in the introduction, I've said a couple of times already, I read intuitively, so we're just gonna see what comes up. And then if you want something more specific, I'll take requests. So just add it in the comments and stuff. Yeah, we're going to do this. I'm going to pull an angel card. We'll do some initials and stuff. And then I have like a bag of tricks full of stuff. Everything from like somebody's mother to, you know, somebody's from Manila or connected to Manila. Somebody needs a routine. There's all sorts in there, different languages. And then we're going to do a yes or no kind of coin. So please think of a question. Sagittarius in love, Sagittarius in love. Some of you are really loved up, and some of you are in that kind of daydreamy fantasy. You know, you're reading a lot of smut. There's a kind of, but it's more of the romance that you're craving. And I want to just already tell you, you know what? Just buy yourself flowers. Just be in that energy and be in that vibe. Go on that holiday. Some of you are thinking about booking a holiday to Barcelona, you lucky things. You know, go do it and create a world in which love already exists. Here we go. Yeah, and I need to cover up because she is flashing. There we go. That is not working. Let's. Come on, Sagittarius, talk to me. You're too kind of dreamy. You're too kind of, you know, lost in thought. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Too kind of, you know, you're in La La Land. There we go. Yeah, you're in La La Land. You're one or two signs. You are one of two signs that I've wanted to check the bottom for, and of course it's love. So I'm gonna just leave that there on the fairy cards because you know you're away with the fairies. But yeah, this is your bottom. Kind of love. It's one of my favorite cards. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. This to me, like the Two of Cups, is more of a lover's card than the actual lovers. And it's just gorgeous as a whole thing. Like everything is in, you know, perfect symmetry. The fishes, the kind of flowers, the cups, everything mirrors and is working within itself. And this is where your head's at. You're in fairyland. You're in, you know, if you could take yourself and put yourself in a romance novel. I'm seeing some of you really into heated rivalry. You know, you're really just like, I am the star. I am the protagonist in this like love relationship book. I'm getting such a like a fairy vibe. I'm almost like I want to get up and skip. I don't skip, but yeah. So we've got, I have to cover up, Queen of Swords. And I feel like, there's a real analyticalness to it, but you see how they're both kind of staring off into the sky in the distance. They're in the clouds. They're trying to look at love and everything around it as, from a beginner's mindset and everything. We've taken off our analytical nature and our, this is taken off all mass, but I'm getting the sense that, I was talking about how with Sagittarius, we tend to just kind of shoot straight, but we take our time. We make sure that, we've got the arrow is in perfect place, even to the point where our stature is in perfect place, where our shoelaces are perfect, like everything is there before we shoot. And I feel like this is the vibe of, if there was no arrow connected to the bow, you wouldn't even notice. You'd be like, yeah, that's it. Like you're just off in some other land with your energy. And I feel like some of you are really wanting that relationship, and some of you are not bothered either way. You're kind of curious, but you're not bothered either way. And you've got the sort of creativity and clarity there that's kind of pointing down, but is also kind of forward. You're not a kind of the sign that people can get away with kind of using you as a bit of a doormat. You aren't like that, but you are in kind of a frolicky mood with Aries, and if you're not, you will be. You've got the Emperor, and again, a lot of these cards are either their faces are covered or they're looking away. They're off somewhere else. They're not on this planet. And this is a real kind of Aries card, as well as the Emperor, but he's looking away. He's looking over the horizon into the distance, seeing where the grass is greener. He's got all his skills and he's holding everything kind of in balance and in place. He's doing the number 4 here, or yeah, 4 as well. Obviously that tracks, but it's everything is in unity and in balance. But yeah, and I feel like it's not a bad thing, and I feel like you really need it, Aries. I feel like you've really been Aries, sorry, Sagittarius. I feel like you've really been through it, and especially with Aries season, it's going to be a bit tough. That's what I tried to say. And I feel like a lot of you are having to lean on family. I feel like there's family that are, that were close, that are not so close, and you're wanting to kind of build on relationships again with them, but don't really know how to do that. That's a bit more specific. And I feel like some of you're like just trying to cling, because that to me looks a bit like a skull. Can you see it there? The thing is with these cards, and I say this every time, I've had them 30 odd years and I'll still see something that I've never seen before every time I use them. And that skull feels like your little bit of, not reality, but the bit of sadness, the kind of niggly voice that says, I won't find love, I won't, continue having, if you're in a loving relationship, if something's going to go wrong, and it's that kind of thing. And I feel like you're just kind of in this energy of, you're not looking, it's there, it's on the knee, you'll take it on the knee, and but you're not present more than anything else, which is a weird thing to feel for the Emperor. And it's the same thing with the Knight of Wands. There's definitely a rashness with Aries. You see, the horse is looking over. I know it's horse season. It's the fire horse, specifically. But the Chevalier, we're going to go with that. The horse rider is, focused fully forward, not even really looking or paying attention. He's just using his full energy and just going for it, kind of thing. And I feel like that's really where you are. Kind of a lot of you, Sagittarius, is a rashness, as well. There's some of you that have really brought things into completion as well. Yeah, this is feeling a lot more like some creative projects with some of you. And again, I just want to look at the horizon. I want to look at this space. So I'm not really looking at everything that I've achieved, everything that I've completed, everything that's been set to motion. This bottom bit here, this looks like, when you cut a tree and you see all the kind of rings, the age rings, that always reminds me of like a generational, what you've learned, that kind of image of a family tree, the generational bond. And it's kind of it's being covered by this idea of completion, but this idea of that's kind of a transparent, wispy, I'm not dealing with it kind of vibes as well. I'm not looking. You're not fully present. You're just not fully present, and it's not getting a bad thing. I'm just feeling like you've got to. It's almost like the end of a road. It's almost like an exhaustion. It's almost like this is what you really need in order to just be human again, and that's not a bad thing. And I feel like for some of you there is this. I kind of want to say, don't lose your complete strand of reality. Just keep one foot one foot into reality, because when we're in this kind of zone, Sagittarius, sometimes it leaves opportunities open for the wrong people to come in, the people that will kind of take the piss a little bit. If you're on a dating app, your standards lower a little bit. So yeah, just be mindful of that. And like couples, you're letting your partner get away with a bit more than what they normally do. Not that it's ever your responsibility to keep your partner in check, but certain boundaries are looser. That's what I'll say. That's what I'm trying to say. And you're really, this is the Queen of Cups. She's really all about the internal reflection, and she's about the water and the emotion, and you're just kind of in this bubble of illusion and emotion, and it's not a bad thing. And again, I'm just wanting to be drawn to the way he's looking into the spiral and the chariot, which is in motion, but the chariot is about forward movement. It also isn't, in a way, because the charioteer has to make sure they have everything in place before they move forward. Whereas this, I feel like the energy of, we're not even moving forward. We're just, you know, looking in a different world here. This feels like a whole different dimension, a different space, a different world. Everyone's looking at either side. So even though she's face forward, she's looking to the right. That one's looking further away. That one's looking forward. That one's looking further to the left. Can you see they're all kind of zoned out and zoned into different places? And it's like that scattered energy for it when it comes to your love life. I mean, you've got the gems here on the armor they represent experience in terms of crystallization. And I feel like you're just in this world. And your energy is in this world, and it's just kind of sporadic outright. Which kind of, for me, interprets that for those of you wanting a new relationship, you're too, what is the word that I want, and the nice way of saying this? I might have to just give you the abrupt way. You're too scattered, and it's not specific enough for the universe. It's a bit like, when you're on dating apps and you always have that person that's like, oh yeah, I'm looking for a serious relationship, but kids, not sure. Where do you want to live? Not sure. Like, there's nothing solid. It's like I'm so open-minded about everything that I'm not specific enough, and you'll accept almost anything. That's what I'm trying to say. It's that kind of vibe. So yeah, I kind of want to almost reel you in, just pull you in a little bit more. And it's lovely living in this world, but it just means that when you come back into reality, which you will do with Aries, giving you a kick, it's just the fall is going to be harder. Like, the more, sometimes the higher you go into that fairy world, the harder you fall. And it can become addictive. I hope all of that made sense. What is your it's about balance. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to be like the villain here. I'm just trying to be like, it is about balance. Have both, and don't get too wrapped up in this, because I kept being drawn to this kind of dreamy vibe, and some of you really need it, and that's absolutely fine. But yeah, just don't fully step out of reality. I think you're one of the only ones that got two. Yeah. Yeah, you're fully in your, like, let me put it kind of here so you can see. You're fully in your honeymoon vibes. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily on a honeymoon, but like you are off on a different zone, planet, dimension. You're off somewhere else. You know, you're in Italy on the gondolas, living your best romantic life in your imagination. Um, yeah, as part of it. And I think for some of you, this is more for you couples. You know, you've known each other before, especially in past lives. I mean, we have. I don't like the term twin flame. I quite like the term soulmate. That's absolutely fine. And I feel like we have more than one soulmate. You know, we can have a few soulmates. Soulmates can be your best friends, um, and whichever else. And I feel like some of you are planning a kind of, I'm hearing like a buddy trip, you know, a girl trip or a guy trip, or, you know, you take whatever terminology you want. I read energies, not gender or sex. You know, just a holiday with your friends. Some of you have been friends with people for 30, 40 years, whatever, 20 years, and you've never been on holiday. I think for some of you, this is kind of specific, somebody's scared of planes. So maybe just like a staycation, you know, go camp in your garden or something. Yes, there's that kind of planning energy. But I was going to say there's only one true love, and you don't necessarily meet, this is my belief, you don't necessarily meet your true love in every, you know, reincarnation, in every life, in every instance, because you're not meant to. You're not always, you don't, it depends what you've come into this kind of life to achieve, and no one can tell you that but you. um and I feel like, yeah, I feel like some of you are also romanticizing your exes and your past. And I feel like there's almost, you're for some of you as well, it's like you're living the relationship in your head, or living the whole relationship in your head. And again, with each bit, I want to be like, just come back a bit, just come back into reality. I'm not saying all the way, but just slowly, and make steps, you know, to bring that romance into your life. It's, you know, buy yourself flowers, take yourself on a cinema date, you know, take yourself to dinner and bring a book. Some of you are really afraid to do things on your own, and I want you to embrace that. I know it's different with different cultures, but I want you to embrace that. You know, really get comfortable being on your own and in your own skin. It does benefit. It does benefit. And then when you have like a wobbly kind of moment, you want the kind of dreaminess and the love and all the rest of it, you know, you kind of set yourself back again. Right, we're going to do initials. Take a deep breath. Yeah, I want that. I knew there was something missing. Right, give me a second to just turn these around and get these in order. If you are still here, thank you so very much. If you could please like and subscribe, it's greatly appreciated, especially as a new creator. It allows my video and my content to get out there to the right people. Yeah, as well, it means I can just keep making these as well, and I'm more than open to feedback and yeah, requests. If there's excuse me, my cough. If there's a specific request, if there is a specific request, you know, it might be that you want me to do more of these initials, or just do a yes or no coin, whatever it is, or work at, you know, couples and singles separately. Just let me know, and I will be more than happy to do that. So I'm getting the name Ethan. ETHAN. I think that's how you spell Ethan. I am super dyslexic, just to point out. So you'll see things that I won't. Please put them in the comments, because they just help. They help all of us out. I'm also seeing Maluma, as in the Colombian artist. Some of you could be from Colombia. Some of you can be really into reggaeton. Some of you can be from Medellin. or wanting to go to Medellin and Colombia and all the rest of it. I've got Cartagena in my head as well, and Venezuela as well. You're making me want arepas. You're like, it's giving me that kind of vibe. My God, I would kill for an arepa right now. GB, so Great Britain. Someone could be English. Does this spell, can I spell Puerto Rico? I cannot. I'm getting Puerto Rico as well. So there's a real Latin American kind of vibe. I'm getting a kind of, ew. Somebody in a couple, somebody's grossing you out. I feel like I've just got this image of a couple where you don't know a person till you live with them, and you can think, oh yeah, it would be great, we'll be living with this person, and then they do something that you think, wow, I see you in a whole different light. Like maybe this is such a weird specific one. I'm getting somebody like an image of them taking their sock off, leaving, like going to bed with one sock, or just like picking their toenails. That's going to be like one person. That's like, I resonate with that. Please let me know. But yeah, they don't play or peel off their toenails and put it in the bin right before bed, and you're looking at them like that is gross. It's that kind of image. Yeah, I feel like some couples, especially ones that moved in with each other recently, you've had a bit of a, yeah. Excuse me. You're kind of looking at your partner like, wow, you're not fitting this narrative. I'm gonna go live in my head. Where you're in that dreamy vibe on a beach with, I don't know, I'm getting the name Horcello. That's not a name that I would associate with a hunky dude. No offense, Horcellos. Anyway, as I offend part of my Latin family, yeah. AEW, someone could be really into wrestling. I was trying to think, there was another group. I kept getting like WWF and wrestling, and I got MFA, I think it was, like cage fighting, and I kept trying to think of what the other firm is, and it's AEW, and I could not think of it. They're an S, so I'm getting please. Have a look. I'm going to give you a sec. Again, please put them in the comment. Oh, llama. That was another one that I got. Somebody's really into llamas. Llamas then reminds me of Ecuador. So I'm in Latin America, or that Latin American kind of vibe, and I'm getting like, like a reggaeton. You've got Tex, so Texas, Tex-Mex. Like a smoky. Ooh, like a barbecue. I can't do barbecue. Damn. You've got it. Someone who's like clowns, and an ET as well. There's a nostalgia feeling with that. I am somebody who's doing affirmations in the mirror and changing things. I am loved. I'm hearing I am loved. I am love. I deserve love. It's that kind of stuff. Keep doing that. That's great stuff. There's some other words. I'm going to look at this later and be like, oh, there's some other, because there's like some other things shouting at me. I'm just getting the word perfect. I'm just hearing like, you're perfect for me. So yeah, some of you are like, oh yeah, this person's perfect for me, or I'm perfect for them. You are perfect in somebody's eyes. It doesn't matter how you look, how you talk, how you like, whatever. You are perfect in somebody's eyes. It's a real dreamy quality to you. I've forgotten what we were doing. Yeah, this. Okay, let me close my eyes. I'm gonna pull some things out. Let's see. Oh, I want to go here. Yes, no. Apparently it's not. There we go. Oh, it's a lot. Okay. A wedding. So somebody could be planning a wedding, going to a wedding, and meeting a significant other at a wedding. You've got Welsh. Somebody could be Welsh in connection to Wales. Years. So this is a time thing. So it could be the fact that, you know, you've been with that person for years, or if you're single, I interpreted this as there'll be, you know, your significant other is coming in the next year or so. But I appreciate that it can feel like years since your true love is coming. That they kept you waiting. Live in a country different from their birth. So it's either yourself, it could be and or the other person. Obviously, I've got a few countries kind of here in that kind of Latin American feel. You know, your significant other could live in a country different from their birth. Maybe possibly have just moved to the country that you're in, or like the village or the town or whichever. Someone's got curly afro kind of coils for the hair. You've got childcare in early years, so somebody could work within childcare or those early years. Eastern European. There is, I told you I'm dyslexic, there's going to be, things on here. Not everything will resonate. Take what does, or take what things kind of shout at you a little bit, or things where your eye goes to, if your eye is constantly going to, childcare in early years, maybe that's a sign that you need to like go for that job that's coming up, or have a look at that career, or, and then you'll meet your significant other through that way, or connect with someone who does that, who works within that. It could also be, Eastern European. It could be the person that introduces you to your significant other is Eastern European, or they are. Got Kolkata. Somebody that know it all. Somebody who's very serious. Closer than you think. So the person who I was going to say the person who you're thinking of, but your significant other is closer than you think. So maybe you had a panic when you saw years, and you were like, it's going to be like 10 years, and actually it's not. St. Lucia, far from home. Again, far from home, living in a country different from their birth. I'm getting like a lot of different places. Natural hair, no hair dye, gorgeous. Someone could be really into videography, photography, that kind of thing. Take that sabbatical. So maybe you need to go on a research holiday. Maybe you're an academic. Healing arts. So somebody's really into the healing arts or wants to explore that. Vietnamese. Someone could love the culture, I want to go there, or your significant other could be Vietnamese, could be your love of Vietnamese food. It could be one of those. Accra, Los Angeles, Bangalore. There's a few of these. They speak English. So again, we've got like another languagey kind of one here. So significant other speaks English, but yeah. We've got Palestinian, you've got Russian, you've got China, animal care and vet. You have the storyteller. Somebody loves to tell a story, tell a tale, weave a tale. Somebody has a strong jaw. I'm a bit of a sucker for a strong jaw. Yeah, speaks another language. Again, far from home, speaks English. There's like a lot of languages and kind of countries kind of come through on this one. Months. So it could be months, a couple of months to a year kind of thing. I'm getting 6 months to a year. I think in that, you know what I'm getting? It's like 6 months to a year. It's like friends to lovers kind of thing. And I feel like for a lot of you, it would be somebody that you didn't expect. Scottish. I mean, someone could be mixed. They could be, part Scottish, part Palestinian, or, all the rest of it. They're the black sheep of the family, or you're the black sheep of the family. Tamale. Oh, Tamil, sorry. Make sure that's spaced out. Poland, Warsaw. We did get Eastern European as well. So hopefully you can see, yeah, you can, all of those in the frame. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Please put things in the comments as well. And yeah, just let me know if you want me to expand further on a lot of these. There's a lot of these cards, so I think there's a lot of, you guys that are tuning into this. So please take what stands out. What your eye is consistently drawn to is usually the thing that's like your intuition pushing you. So I'm going to put that over there, and we are going to do your yes or no. So we got no, we got yes. If there's kind of a not much of a spin, take that as a maybe. So think of your question. That's a yes. We're going to do that one more because that wasn't a bad spin. There we go. Still a yes. You can see it there. So it's a yes. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Like I said, it really helps me out, and I absolutely freaking love doing these so much. Yeah, please put stuff in the comments to help each other out. Please also check out your rising sign as well, because for more accuracy, if you haven't, if this is your sun sign, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. So I can't put into words how grateful I am. So thank you so much for watching.